I was deep in the zone, analyzing DNA sequences on my computer screen when the beam of light hit me. One moment, I was in my high-tech lab on Earth, surrounded by the familiar hum of machinery and the scent of antiseptic. The next, I was engulfed by a blinding light. My body felt weightless, every molecule in me vibrating with unnatural energy. I tried to scream, to move, but I was paralyzed. When I regained consciousness, I was no longer in my lab. I was lying on a sleek metallic surface, the air thick with an unfamiliar sterile scent. I blinked against the harsh lights overhead, my mind struggling to process what had just happened. Gradually, the room came into focus. It was a medical bay, but unlike any I'd seen before. The technology around me was far beyond anything on Earth. Sleek, seamless machines emitted soft glows, humming quietly as they worked. Surrounding me were tall, formidable figures clad in elaborate armor, their faces obscured by helmets. Their presence was imposing and alien. One of them, evidently the leader, stepped forward and removed her helmet, revealing striking features and piercing eyes that regarded me with a mix of curiosity and authority. "Dr. Alex Bennett," she said, her voice firm and commanding. "Welcome to Guia Prime." My head spun. Where? What? My voice came out as a croak. I pushed myself up on my elbows, my body weak and disoriented. "You're on Guia Prime," she repeated. "I am Commander Cirrus. We brought you here because we need your help." Before I could respond, another Amazon approached, holding a sleek tablet-like device. She pressed it against my arm, and a cold sensation spread through me. My vision blurred momentarily, then cleared, the dizziness subsiding. "You have been stabilized," Commander Cirrus said. "You will be escorted to the royal palace where Queen Kara will explain everything." The journey to the palace was surreal. I was flanked by Amazons as we moved through corridors lined with bioluminescent plants and advanced technology integrated seamlessly into the environment. Outside, Guia Prime was a breathtaking blend of vibrant flora and cutting-edge architecture. Towering trees with glowing leaves stretched toward a sky filled with strange constellations. It was a harmonious balance of nature and technology, a world that felt both alien and beautiful. As we approached the palace, my initial fear began to morph into a mix of awe and curiosity. What could be so urgent that they needed to abduct me? The palace itself was a marvel, a fusion of organic curves and sleek metallic surfaces exuding both grandeur and warmth. Inside, I was led to a grand throne room where Queen Kara awaited. She stood tall and regal, her presence commanding attention. Her eyes, sharp and intelligent, softened slightly as she looked at me. "Dr. Bennett," she greeted, her voice a blend of authority and desperation. "Thank you for coming." As if I had a choice, I muttered, rubbing my temples. "What is this about?" Kara sighed, gesturing for me to sit. "Our species is facing extinction. A genetic anomaly is causing our population to decline rapidly. We have exhausted all our resources and knowledge. We believe your expertise in human genetics can help us find a solution." I stared at her, my mind racing. "You abducted me because of my research." "We are desperate," Kara admitted, her tone earnest. "We have seen your work, your breakthroughs. We believe you can save us." Despite my anger, I couldn't ignore the sincerity in her voice. These people were on the brink of extinction, and somehow they thought I could help. I took a deep breath, trying to process everything. "I need to see the data," I said finally. "I can't promise anything without understanding the full scope of the problem." "Of course," Kara nodded. "You will have access to everything you need." Before I could delve further into the conversation, the doors to the throne room burst open. Eli Walker, my best friend and colleague, stormed in, flanked by two Amazons who looked more annoyed than threatening. "Eli," I exclaimed, shocked and relieved. "What the hell are you doing here?" "I could ask you the same thing," Eli shot back, his eyes wide with a mix of worry and frustration. "1 minute you're in the lab, the next you're gone." I followed the signal here. Queen Kara raised an eyebrow. You followed an unauthorized signal and stole one of our crafts. Eli shrugged, his expression defiant. I wasn't about to leave my friend behind. The tension in the room thickened. I glanced between Eli and Kara, sensing the brewing conflict. Eli, it's complicated. They need my help. There's a genetic crisis here. Eli's gaze hardened. And you think it's ethical to intervene in another species' genetics, Alex. This isn't our fight. It became my fight the moment they brought me here, I replied, my voice firm. And if there's a chance I can help, I have to try. Kara stepped forward, her eyes locking onto Eli's. We understand your concerns, Mr. Walker, but our situation is dire. We would not have resorted to such measures if it weren't necessary. Eli crossed his arms, still skeptical. I want to help too, but we need to be careful. This is uncharted territory. As the argument subsided, I realized the gravity of our situation. Here we were, two humans on an alien planet, tasked with saving a race on the brink of extinction. The ethical dilemmas loomed large, but so did the potential for groundbreaking discoveries. Balancing my scientific curiosity with the weight of these new responsibilities would be the challenge of a lifetime. And as I looked at Queen Kara with her fierce determination, and at Eli with his unwavering loyalty, I knew that this was just the beginning of a journey that would test us all in ways we could never have imagined. Diving into the genetic crisis, the lab on Guia Prime was a marvel of technology and organic integration. Bioluminescent plants lined the walls, providing both illumination and an otherworldly atmosphere, while sleek, seamless machines hummed quietly, their interfaces almost intuitive. It was here that I plunged into the heart of my research, working side by side with Amazonian scientists who possessed a profound understanding of their own genetics, but were reaching the limits of their knowledge. Days blurred into nights as I delved deeper into the genetic codes that define the Amazonian race. The anomaly was more intricate than I had anticipated. It wasn't a simple mutation, but a series of cascading failures within their DNA, interwoven and complex. Each breakthrough seemed to reveal another layer of the problem. But I was relentless, driven by the urgency of their situation and my growing bond with Queen Kara. Kara and I often found ourselves working late into the night, our conversations drifting from the technical to the personal. Her determination was a constant reminder of the stakes. She spoke of the pressures of leadership, the weight of an entire species' survival resting on her shoulders. I shared stories from Earth, my motivations as a geneticist, and the ethical lines I had always vowed never to cross. One evening, as the soft glow of bioluminescent flora bathed the lab in a gentle light, Kara paused her work and looked at me, her expression unusually vulnerable. Alex, do you ever wonder if we are too different, that perhaps our species were never meant to intermingle at this level? I leaned back, considering her question. I believe that our differences make us stronger, Kara. But I also understand the risks. Genetic manipulation isn't something to be taken lightly. Her eyes held mine, and for a moment, the weight of our shared burdens seemed to lift. Thank you, Alex. Your presence here has given me hope. As the days passed, my research led to a groundbreaking discovery. The solution to the genetic anomaly would require a radical approach, intertwining human and Amazonian DNA. It was a revelation that brought both hope and skepticism. Many of the Amazonian scientists, while intrigued, were wary of the implications. Integrating human DNA into their genetic structure was uncharted territory, fraught with potential risks and ethical concerns. Eli, ever the voice of reason, voiced his concerns during one of our late-night discussions. Alex, this is revolutionary, but we need to be cautious. We're talking about altering the fundamental genetic makeup of an entire species. The long-term effects are unpredictable. I know, I replied, the weight of the responsibility heavy on my shoulders. But if we don't try, their species will die out. We have to weigh the risks against the potential benefits. Kara, who had been listening quietly, nodded. Our people are prepared to take this risk. We trust in your expertise. Dr. Bennett. The decision was made. We would proceed with the integration of human DNA into the Amazonian genome, starting with a series of controlled experiments to monitor the effects. The process was meticulous, each step carefully documented and analyzed. The first successful integration brought a sense of cautious optimism to the lab. The initial results were promising, showing signs of stability and viability. However, not everyone was convinced. A faction of the Amazonian population, led by a prominent scientist named Tessa, opposed the integration. Tessa argued that meddling with their genetic heritage was a violation of their identity and warned of unforeseen consequences. The tension between the two camps grew, culminating in a heated debate in the palace's grand hall. Kara, ever the diplomat, tried to mediate. We must consider all perspectives. This is a decision that affects our entire species. Dr. Bennett, please present your findings. I stepped forward, the weight of their expectations heavy on my shoulders. Our research shows that the integration of human DNA can stabilize the genetic anomaly. While there are risks, the alternative is extinction. We are proceeding with caution, monitoring every step. Tessa's eyes flashed with defiance. You are playing God with our lives. This is not a decision to be made lightly. We must find another way. Kara raised her hand, silencing the room. We have considered every option. Dr. Bennett's expertise offers us a chance at survival. We will proceed with the integration, but with the utmost care and transparency. The room was filled with a mixture of relief and apprehension. The journey ahead was fraught with challenges, but we were united in our determination to save the Amazonian race. As I returned to the lab, Eli by my side, I couldn't help but feel the weight of the responsibility. The path we had chosen was uncertain, but it was a path of hope. The ethical dilemma. As the integration process continued, the ethical dilemmas became more pronounced. Each successful experiment brought a mixture of relief and anxiety. The Amazonian subjects showed promising signs of genetic stability, but the long-term effects remained unknown. The weight of our decisions loomed large, and the pressure to succeed was immense. One evening, as Eli and I reviewed the latest data, he voiced his concerns. Alex, we've come so far, but I can't shake the feeling that we're walking a tightrope. One misstep, and everything could collapse. I know, I replied, my eyes fixed on the screen. But we have to keep going. Their future depends on it. Our conversations often drifted to the ethical implications of our work. The integration of human DNA into an alien species was unprecedented, and the potential consequences were unpredictable. We discussed the possibility of unforeseen mutations, the impact on future generations, and the moral responsibility we carried. Kara, who had become a constant presence in the lab, joined us in these discussions. Her perspective added a layer of complexity to our ethical considerations. Our people have placed their trust in you, Dr. Bennett. We understand the risks, but we believe in your expertise. Her words were both comforting and daunting. The Amazonian race was on the brink of extinction, and we were their last hope. The weight of their survival rested on our shoulders, and the ethical dilemmas we faced were a constant reminder of the gravity of our work. As the integration process progressed, we encountered unexpected challenges. Some subjects showed signs of rejection, their bodies unable to cope with the genetic alterations. It was a sobering reminder of the risks involved, and it forced us to reevaluate our approach. We decided to slow down the process, taking a more cautious approach. Each step was meticulously planned and executed, with constant monitoring and adjustments. The Amazonian scientists, initially skeptical, began to see the potential of our work. Their expertise and insights were invaluable, and our collaboration deepened. One evening, as we reviewed the latest data, Kara approached me with a question that had been weighing on her mind. Alex, what will happen to our people if the integration is successful? Will we still be the same? Her question struck a chord. The integration of human DNA would undoubtedly change the Amazonian race, and the implications were profound. Kara, the essence of your people will remain. The integration is a means of survival, but your culture, your identity, will endure. She nodded, her eyes thoughtful. We are a resilient people, Alex. We have faced countless challenges, and we will face this one too. Your presence here has given us hope, and for that, we are grateful. As the days turned into weeks, the integration process showed signs of success. The genetic stability of the subjects improved, and the initial signs of rejection diminished. It was a testament to our combined efforts, a beacon of hope in the face of uncertainty. The ethical dilemmas remained, but they were overshadowed by the potential for survival. The Amazonian race had placed their trust in us, and we were determined to see it through. As we continued our work, the bond between our species grew stronger, a testament to the power of collaboration and the resilience of the human spirit. Resistance and unity. Despite the promising progress, resistance within the Amazonian population grew. Tessa and her faction continued to voice their opposition, arguing that the integration was a violation of their genetic heritage. Their concerns were not without merit, and it created a rift within the Amazonian society. Kara, ever the diplomat, sought to bridge the gap. We must find common ground, she urged during a council meeting. Our survival depends on unity. Tessa remained defiant. We cannot compromise our identity for the sake of survival. There must be another way. The tension was palpable, and the council was divided. It was clear that the path forward would require more than scientific breakthroughs. It would require diplomatic finesse and a deep understanding of the cultural implications. Eli and I became more involved in the diplomatic efforts, working closely with Kara to address the concerns of the opposition. We organized town hall meetings, sharing our research and addressing the ethical dilemmas openly. The transparency helped, but the resistance remained strong. One evening, as we prepared for another meeting, Eli voiced his frustration. Alex, we can't force them to accept this. We need to find a way to earn their trust. I know, I replied, my mind racing. But how do we bridge the gap? Kara joined us, her expression determined. We must show them the potential of the integration. Let them see the success stories, the lives saved. Only then will they understand. The next day, we organized a series of presentations showcasing the successful integration cases. The subjects who had shown remarkable genetic stability shared their stories, highlighting the positive impact on their health and well-being. It was a powerful moment, and it began to shift the tide of opinion. Tessa, who had been skeptical, watched closely. Her eyes softened as she listened to the testimonials, the stories of hope and survival. It was clear that the resistance was not born out of malice, but out of fear and a desire to protect their heritage. After the presentations, Tessa approached me. Dr. Bennett, I see the potential in your work, but I still have concerns. We must proceed with caution, ensuring that our identity is not lost. I understand, I replied. Your concerns are valid, and we will proceed with the utmost care. The goal is not to change who you are, but to ensure your survival. Her expression softened further. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate your honesty and commitment. We will support the integration, but we must remain vigilant. The breakthrough in the council marked a turning point. The Amazonian society began to unite, rallying around the shared goal of survival. The resistance diminished, replaced by cautious optimism. It was a testament to the power of collaboration and the resilience of the Amazonian spirit. As the integration process continued, the bond between our species grew stronger. We were no longer seen as outsiders, but as partners in their fight for survival. The journey was far from over, but we faced it together, united by a shared purpose and a common goal. The final push. With the support of the Amazonian society, the integration process entered its final phase. The lab buzzed with activity as we worked tirelessly to refine the genetic alterations and ensure their stability. The success stories continued to grow, and the initial signs of rejection became a distant memory. Kara remained a constant presence, her leadership guiding us through the challenges. Her determination and resilience were a source of inspiration, driving us to push the boundaries of our knowledge and capabilities. One evening, as we reviewed the final set of data, Kara approached me with a sense of urgency. "Alex, we are on the brink of a breakthrough, but we must ensure that the integration is sustainable in the long term. Our future depends on it." Her words echoed the sentiment of the entire Amazonian society. The integration had brought hope, but it was essential to ensure that it was not a temporary solution. We focused our efforts on long-term stability, analyzing the genetic markers and monitoring the subjects closely. Eli, who had become an integral part of the team, voiced his concerns. "Alex, we need to consider the environmental factors as well. The integration might be stable in the lab, but we need to ensure it holds up in the real world." He was right. The controlled environment of the lab was not a perfect reflection of the complexities of the Amazonian world. We decided to conduct a series of field tests, exposing the subjects to various environmental conditions and monitoring their responses. The field tests were a success, providing valuable insights into the long-term stability of the integration. The subjects showed remarkable resilience, adapting to the environmental changes with ease. It was a testament to the potential of our work and the collaborative efforts of our team. As we prepared to present our final findings to the council, Kara's eyes shone with hope. "We have come so far, Alex. Your work has given us a chance at survival. We will ensure that the integration is sustainable and our people will thrive." The council meeting was a momentous occasion. We presented our findings, highlighting the success stories and the potential for long-term stability. The council members listened intently, their expressions a mix of relief and optimism. Tessa, who had become a staunch advocate for the integration, spoke passionately. "We must embrace this opportunity. Dr. Bennett's work has given us hope, and we must ensure that it is not in vain. Our future depends on it." The council voted unanimously to support the integration, marking a turning point in the Amazonian society. It was a moment of triumph, a testament to the power of collaboration and the resilience of the human spirit. As we celebrated the success, I couldn't help but reflect on the journey. We had faced countless challenges, ethical dilemmas, and resistance, but we had persevered. The bond between our species had grown stronger, and we had forged a path of hope and survival. The integration process was a testament to the power of collaboration and the resilience of the Amazonian spirit. It was a journey that had tested us in ways we could never have imagined, but it had also brought us closer together, united by a shared goal and a common purpose. New beginnings. The success of the integration marked a new beginning for the Amazonian race. The genetic stability ensured their survival, and the collaboration between our species had created a bond that transcended our differences. It was a testament to the power of unity and the resilience of the human spirit. Kara, now more than ever, embodied the hope and determination of her people. Her leadership had guided us through the challenges, and her vision for the future was a source of inspiration. "Alex, your work has given us a chance at a future. We will honor this gift and ensure that our people thrive." The Amazonian society embraced the integration, and the initial resistance gave way to cautious optimism. The success stories continued to grow, and the long-term stability of the integration was evident. It was a moment of triumph, a testament to the power of collaboration and the resilience of the Amazonian spirit. Eli and I continued to work closely with the Amazonian scientists, sharing our knowledge and expertise. The bond between our species grew stronger, and the collaborative efforts led to groundbreaking discoveries. The integration had opened new possibilities, and the future was filled with hope and promise. One evening, as we reviewed the latest data, Kara approached me with a sense of gratitude. "Alex, your presence here has changed everything. You have given us hope and a chance at a future. We will never forget your contributions." Her words were a reminder of the impact of our work. The integration had not only ensured the survival of the Amazonian race, but had also forged a bond between our species. It was a journey that had tested us in ways we could never have imagined, but it had also brought us closer together, united by a shared goal and a common purpose. As we celebrated the success, I couldn't help but reflect on the journey. The ethical dilemmas, the challenges, and the resistance had been formidable, but we had persevered. The bond between our species had grown stronger, and we had forged a path of hope and survival. The integration process was a testament to the power of collaboration and the resilience of the Amazonian spirit. It was a journey that had tested us in ways we could never have imagined, but it had also brought us closer together, united by a shared goal and a common purpose. As we looked to the future, the bond between our species grew stronger, and the collaborative efforts led to groundbreaking discoveries. The integration had opened new possibilities, and the future was filled with hope and promise. Legacy of hope. The integration of human and Amazonian DNA had ensured the survival of the Amazonian race, and the bond between our species had created a legacy of hope. The collaborative efforts had led to groundbreaking discoveries, and the future was filled with promise. Kara's leadership had guided us through the challenges, and her vision for the future was a source of inspiration. Alex, your work has given us a chance at a future. We will honor this gift and ensure that our people thrive. The Amazonian society embraced the integration, and the initial resistance gave way to cautious optimism. The success stories continued to grow, and the long-term stability of the integration was evident. It was a moment of triumph, a testament to the power of collaboration and the resilience of the Amazonian spirit. Eli and I continued to work closely with the Amazonian scientists, sharing our knowledge and expertise. The bond between our species grew stronger, and the collaborative efforts led to groundbreaking discoveries. The integration had opened new possibilities, and the future was filled with hope and promise. One evening, as we reviewed the latest data, Kara approached me with a sense of gratitude. Alex, your presence here has changed everything. You have given us hope and a chance at a future. We will never forget your contributions. Her words were a reminder of the impact of our work. The integration had not only ensured the survival of the Amazonian race, but had also forged a bond between our species. It was a journey that had tested us in ways we could never have imagined, but it had also brought us closer together, united by a shared goal and a common purpose. As we celebrated the success, I couldn't help but reflect on the journey. The ethical dilemmas, the challenges, and the resistance had been formidable, but we had persevered. The bond between our species had grown stronger, and we had forged a path of hope and survival. The integration process was a testament to the power of collaboration and the resilience of the Amazonian spirit. It was a journey that had tested us in ways we could never have imagined, but it had also brought us closer together, united by a shared goal and a common purpose. As we looked to the future, the bond between our species grew stronger, and the collaborative efforts led to groundbreaking discoveries. The integration had opened new possibilities, and the future was filled with hope and promise. The legacy of hope that we had created was a testament to the power of collaboration and the resilience of the human spirit. It was a journey that had tested us in ways we could never have imagined, but it had also brought us closer together, united by a shared goal and a common purpose. The future was bright, and the possibilities were endless.